What's happening, guys, and welcome back to Sliced. Now, what if I told you that we could make cheese on toast but better? Sounds weird, right? Because I mean, cheese on toast is just such a basic, simple thing, but the Welsh Rarebit is one of the nicest things I've ever tasted in my life, and it's so versatile, so you can really make it with whatever you've got at home. Now, it is a bit of an interesting word. If I told you that Welsh Rarebit or rabbit means cheese on toast, you'd think, oh, that's a bit weird, why has it got the word rabbit in the name? Well, it's sort of a, I don't want to say a joke, but it's got some kind of humour to it. So Welsh peasants in like the 18th century wouldn't have access to a rabbit or stuff like that, because that would be quite a upper class sort of thing. And so they really sort of upped the basic cheese on toast by mixing it with different ingredients and creating a sauce-like layer underneath the cheese. And so they named it Welsh Rarebit as a sort of tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, you know? But look, it might not be actual rabbit, but this tastes like £1,000,000. So I'm telling you, stick with me to the end of this video. I'm going to show you guys how to make it two types of ways. One of them, which is a bit more classical, but it requires a bit more time. And then one of them, if you haven't got much time, but you just want to make it anyway. The second way is not necessarily super traditional, but it's such a versatile recipe that you can really make it with whatever you've got around you. I mean, the original recipe calls for having like stout or ale in the recipe, but because I don't drink, I'm not making it with that. And so it just shows how easily it is to sort of change, and you can still make something really delicious. So let's get right into it. Now we're going to start off with the bread. You can use any type of bread you want. It's better to use like a nice sort of freshly baked loaf like I did.
So as you can see, I toasted this beforehand, which was not a good idea because it went too overcooked in the oven. So if you're going to do this, just don't toast it at all, or just toast it very lightly.
And then we can literally just move on to the first sauce. This one's a bit more time consuming, but it's still really delicious. We're going to start in a pan with a couple tablespoons of butter. We're going to melt that down and add a tablespoon of flour. This is a basic roux. And we're going to stir it on a low heat with a wooden spoon, just cooking it off gently. You want to do this for like 2 minutes, something like that. And then what we're going to do is start adding milk. To be honest, you can add as much or as little as you want. I want it to be quite a thick sauce so that it doesn't like drip over the side of the bread. And so I'm going to add little by little and just sort of mix it in, cooking it, raising the heat to a medium so that the milk starts to thicken. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add in some seasoning, a bit of pepper, tiny pinch of salt, some Worcestershire sauce. I can't believe I said it right on the first time. That's going to add a nice level of sort of acidity, bit of heat as well. It's quite essential in this recipe. If you don't have any, don't worry, but it's also quite necessary. And it's really cheap and easy to find as well, so you know, you'll find it in any supermarket. We're going to add in just a pinch of cayenne pepper or more if you want, it's up to you. And we're going to add a nice heap of cheddar to make this sauce really nice and gooey, and it's just so warming and rich, you're going to love it. So then all we're going to do is take that sauce and just smear it over both of our pieces of bread. Make sure you really go heavy on it, you know, you want that nice oozy layer when you bite into this. Ooh, it's so delicious. And then we're just going to top the whole thing with some cheddar. It should be cheddar, it should be mature cheddar as well. You really want that strong, rich, salty flavor that goes through everything. Don't use that mozzarella or anything like that. You need strong cheddar. If you can find Welsh cheddar, that's even more authentic, so props to you. And we're going to go ahead and pop this in the oven at about sort of 200 degrees to kind of get that cheese nice and golden on top. When the cheese is nice and golden, you can remove it from the oven and eat it just like that. And it's so beautiful. Now that's a more lengthier way. That'll probably take you about like, you know, 5-10 minutes to do the whole sauce and everything like that. If you want like a speedy kind of way, which is not really that traditional, but it's super easy, then you can go ahead and try this one out, which is just 2 egg yolks in a bowl, mixing it in with a few tablespoons of parmesan cheese, along with some pepper, Worcestershire sauce, cayenne powder as well. And you're just going to mix that together so that it forms like a really thick paste. Just adjust it if you need to. If it's too sort of thick, then just add some milk or egg yolk or whatever. And if it's too thin, then you can add more parmesan cheese just to thicken that mixture a little bit. And that's like a super speedy, like 1 minute kind of recipe if you really don't really have the time, for instance, but it will still give you the same kind of like creamy flavor. And again, I'm just going to smear that over the bread, top it off with some mature cheddar, and put the whole thing in the oven, grilling it. And when it comes out, it's just gonna make you want to say, Lord have mercy. It's so beautiful, it's so simple, and it's a really traditional Welsh dish. This is just the perfect all-time cheese on toast. Once you have this, you're not gonna wanna go back to regular cheese toasties. Just trust me, try it out. Send me your attempts at slice_YT on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I always say that. Facebook, TikTok, and everything, and I'll see you next time. Bye.